Typically, I do these type of videos after my video on a card, but felt like doing something different this time. And this doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the future, but it might.
Shit can happen.
I've been involved with this game since 2002. I've been doing videos on this shit since 2008, even though I would consider 2010 is my point where I stopped recording people and I started doing my own shit. I would say 2010, whatever. If we're being technical, it would be 2008 when I started this channel. Now, it's been 15 years since I laid my eyes on Yu-Gi-Oh!, looked at the first series, got the starter deck, started playing. It's been 15 fucking years. And I don't necessarily regret those 15 years, because a fairly good chunk of those years I've been able to live off Yu-Gi-Oh! This may be a common misconception y'all have. Y'all believe that I really like the game. It really ain't like that. I don't really like anything. Well, besides cute shit. That's my favorite shit. Facts! But you can get cute shit in like every card game, so that's not exclusive to Yu-Gi. But the reason why I chose Yu-Gi was because I had the most time invested in it. The main reason why I even started was because I needed a distraction, or I felt I needed a distraction, but come to find out the distraction didn't really help. It just made matters worse, because at 15 you don't really know shit. Despite people thinking that they're smart, I thought I was smart at 15. I know I ain't the only one that thought this shit. We're fucking stupid.
At 15.
Do I feel some shame for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So early and still being involved with it / playing 15 years later?
Of course I do.
And here's why. I feel like no matter how old you get and no matter how far you get from a certain environment, things from that certain environment and group of people are going to stay with you. I guess you would say being a product of your environment. I know I'm not the only one when it comes to this, where your family wants you to do kind of sort of the same thing they did. You don't have to actually get the same job or thing or go to college like they did, but they want you to do something, I would say, easy. And easy is getting some type of job, being promoted, do that shit for some amount of time, get married, it's so easy to say that shit, but it's never really that easy.
Because the fact still remains.
Shit can happen with a job, motherfucker can get on your damn nerves. You can't really control your emotions. Well, I can, or at least I feel I can. And then there be this whole thing. There's a lot of variables that are never considered, but there's always this seemingly easy fucking plan that your family wants for you, mainly your parents and shit. Now, I never really had my biological mother around. That's not really relevant to this story, but I'm just making a point. I didn't have her around, and my father didn't really know better either. Product of his environment. So it was only natural for him to give his perspective on things, even though he didn't know any different. Or maybe he did and he didn't tell me nothing. You motherfucker. I've never liked. It's not like hating your job, but you still go in that motherfucker. I do not like being a subordinate.
You don't understand.
I cannot stand that. If there was anything that I hate, it is that shit. Which is also inspiration, or was inspiration for me to even do this shit in the first place. I heard that I could do YouTube and make money from it. Who the fuck knew it would have took years? And that taking years shit was a fucking turnoff, but I decided to do it because eventually you gotta commit to something. If it ain't a bitch, you gotta commit to something.
It's true.
And I remember this as clear as day. In 2011, I went to school, trade school, whatever. I was learning computer networking. Now, some people may be like, yeah, you seem like the type. Yeah, well, I left that shit abruptly. Didn't tell nobody.
Let me explain why.
Because in my head, I'm like, I do not want to do this. What I want to do is do this YouTube shit full time. Now, I'm ashamed, because I said that earlier, because of the outside world, family, all that shit, saying, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Don't do anything off the beaten path. Don't do that, even though people that have been successful have gone off the beaten path and did their own thing and made their own lane. Yeah, it took me some time to make this decision to just do the shit, but I made that decision. So some people can talk about the YouTube ad boycott, whatever shit. But the problem is that I made the conscious decision in 2011 and I've stuck to it. No matter what the fuck happens, I'm making this decision to stick with it.
Side note.
I don't think y'all understand how hard that shit was for me to do, because I've been really, really flaky when it comes to certain stuff, and I'll be like, fuck this shit, I'm doing something else. Problem, even if I wanted to stop, the fuck else would I do?
Absolutely nothing.
You could have had another plan. True. But you wouldn't be getting the videos that I will be giving you now. Something had to give. Now, I'm not really a person on inspirational quotes, but Will Smith said something about not having a plan B. And I agree with him, because if you have a plan B, that gives you an excuse to fuck around. If you got a plan B, you won't go all in and do everything that you could possibly do with the shit that you're doing. This could be anything. And with me, it's doing these fucking videos. It is nice, though, to have some type of relative success. I don't want to be famous. I just want the money. And the fact that I'm able to do that and not be famous, I don't want to be famous. I'm not that guy. But just to have my amount of relative success, I guess I'm proud of that. But ultimately, it's a commitment. I've gotten people that have asked me to give them advice on their YouTube channels. It's really not worth it. I would not be doing the shit that I'm doing if it was just a hobby. If it's just a hobby, I'd be doing something else that I would take seriously. Right? So it's not to say that I wouldn't take this shit seriously, but I have something else to do. It's like people that have full-time jobs. Not holding that against you. I would never do
this shit right here, nigga. This shit right here, nigga. Right here. This shit, nigga. This shit here, nigga.
As a hobby. Now, I went through that phase of just talking and whatever. I just wanted to do something different. I wasn't trying to stand out. It was just in my mind. How am I going to do something different but still keep me, right? And that's where the editing came from. I just had to figure out how to implement it. And I think I did a pretty good job. Not to say that I'm better than anybody else. I ain't talking down to nobody. Y'all do your thing. You got outside shit. Good on you. I just know from my experience, I'm not going to stop. I don't have a plan B. I never plan to have one. I mean, to be fair, if I really wanted to do something else, I could. But I don't. And even if Yu-Gi-Oh dies one day, I'll deal with that. But it doesn't stop me from having a little bit of shame. No matter what a person does, is off the beaten path, have a little bit of shame. Even if they do something that's like normal, you might feel a way for not even trying to do it. I guess it's better to fail, but at least you tried. And I don't think I failed yet. Even though I have definitely felt like I failed a whole lot of times. Also a thing with not having a plan B is the thing that you're really focused on, take something else out of the equation. I've been trying to have more of a personal life and trying to juggle the YouTube and whatever. It's not easy, but at the very least, when it does come to females, I let them know straight up, this is what I do. This got to be done first before we do anything. It has to be done. And I don't give a fuck how they feel about it. I already told them from the jump. If I'm buying anything, it's coming from this shit. So we did it. I might not have used those exact words. Even with me saying all this, it doesn't stop me from feeling a little bit of shame. And anybody that says that they don't feel shame, you're lying to yourself. Well, you're lying to us. You can't really lie to yourself. You can try to keep it in the back of your mind. You're fucking lying to yourself because you're not doing something that's normal. You're not doing something that is widely accepted. The fact that I'm doing this does bring a little shame to me, but I'm glad that I'm doing it. Because if I was doing something else, I feel a hell of a lot worse. So I can deal with a little bit of shame. You already know the slogan by now, don't you?
Yup.
Well, I'm saying it anyway. Thanks for watching. If you would like to
Help me.
pay rent,
Help me.
make that motherfucker deal roll.
Nigga.
All I ask for is Literally seconds out your day to do something with those advertisements when they show up, and they probably already showed up before this part, but you know, in case you didn't know, that I would like you to do that, so it helps me out.
I'm reminding you.
My Patreon and my Discord server links in the description. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Gratitizzle. And as much as I say this, I feel like I can't say this shit enough. So, remember,
I appreciate you.